Kids, good morning. How is everybody doing? Rory, you with us?
I am with you.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm with us. I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Today is still hot. Lots of hot weather here at the moment. I don't deal well with hot, but I'm coping because I have a giant fan behind me mainly.
That's cool. I can't hear the fan, so that part's
Well, that's
good, I
good.
guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's show you where we left off yesterday. We did all the visual stuff after you left. We did the hard work when you were here.
You did all the fun stuff after I left. I can't imagine that happens very often, obviously.
If we get this to work today, I think there's a way to get this to work with a few lines of code. If we can figure that out, it'll be fun today. Cool. I think, but I also think, though, that I've got a little bit of heaviness in my anticipation in terms of what I think is coming up. I think, Fred, you feel it too, right, Fred? No, Fred's like, I'm a digital puppet. What do you expect me to feel?
Chilled. He's fine.
Fred's like, you're the man, not me. You're the guy who's got to figure this out. I'm fine. I'm good over here. Yeah, I'm like, I got a little bit of, I don't know if it's fair to say dread or not, but I'm like, I think we're going to hit a problem today. Okay. It's going to take some brain power to figure out. But we'll see. It can go one of two ways. Either we just slice and dice it, right? And Fred knows what it's like to slice and dice, right, Fred? Oh my goodness. That's like crazy. I'm pretty sure I only hit that button once and it came up a bunch of times. It was appropriate.
That's emphasis.
I'm okay with it, but like it was a little crazy to
emphasis.
Me. I feel
that is a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. What do I got here? Item with the same name has already been added. Well, this is blowing my mind. We just were looking at this. Oh, no, we weren't.
No, this was slightly different because they were the other way around.
Calculate latest damage. Yeah. I'm feeling like we got a multiple entry in here. Let's bring this up here. Try to bring execution up here. Can I do that? No. It looks like it's a little bit off here. Notice the highlighting here. Can I do it now? That looks like a bad error. Prepare your Visual Studio installation. I just updated the latest. Debugging is terminated. Okay, fine. I'm going to take this though. I'm going to put a lock right here. See if that gives me any breathing room in this for each right in here. We saw a similar error to this just before we started. I was showing it to Rory. And let's try that. We'll run that. And we locked it. And, you know, I don't know. It's possible. We're thinking this is coming. Calculate latest damage. Where's this call coming from? Yeah, dice stop rolling. So we've got basically, I think this message is coming in being sent a couple times. I don't have 2 dice, do I? No, I don't have 2 dice layers up and active. This is what we were working on yesterday, by the way. That's the thing we were doing. So far, we got to, let's see, dice are still up there. Let me throw out like a flat D20 for miles here, and then that'll clear up the other die. Will that work? No? I gotta actually cast a spell or something? There we go. Working our way through it. There's the acid splash spell. Clear all that. Hide the scroll. Okay. So this is what we were working on yesterday. I changed this right here. I realized that it wouldn't be too hard to make these 2 endpoints much thinner and longer, because I wasn't liking how fat they were. Right? They started out fat because, you know, that's kind of what I had. It was originally a tall scroll and I made it shorter. But I realized, oh, you know what? It's only going to take a couple minutes and I'll be able to change that. So I changed this animation. I did 2 things with it that are kind of interesting for the problem we're trying to solve. Let me, let's see if we can find that. That's in assets. Spell name scroll. It's in here. Here it is. So here you can see what it looks like right over there. See, much thinner than it was before, right? So much thinner. Now, there's two things I did, and they're both for the purposes of user interface. One was I made those thinner, and the reason why is I had done a couple tests, and when the scroll was up with a couple players, they were starting to overlap each other if they had long spell names in there.
Yeah.
Right? Or the...
So now the bookend scrolls take up less space, giving more space to the central section.
Wow! Hey, what's happening? What the... Who did that? What's going on? Oh, look, Roy. Look over there. Look
at that.
Look, it's a plant. It's something growing. Hey, folks. Hey, Copperbeardy.
Hey, Copperbeardy.
I don't know. I think Mr. Nuts Guy's being a little too mean right now today. That's what I think. What do you think about that, Mr. Nuts Guy?
Excuse your face, sir.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Just wow!
Mr. Announcer Guy kind of in a bit of a mood.
Just wow.
What are you mocking me, Mr. Announcer Guy?
Exactly.
Well, why you? I don't want to hear any more from you. Do you understand me, Mr. Announcer Guy?
Fine.
Yeah. Do you hear me? I want to make sure you understand me. No more.
Fine.
Okay. All right. Mr. Announcer Guy. Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yes.
You're the best, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Enough of that. While we're out here pushing buttons, I might as well tell you that, we get things done on this show using
brute force and ignorance.
Woohoo! That's what we do, and you should know that.
Disclaimer. Mark doesn't know what he's doing.
All this is true. We got some music playing here, the Code Rush music playing. So I did two things. I made those thinner on the sides.
Yep.
So we could get more text in without them stretching out so far to overlap the left and right, right? If I was concentrating, little cutie's concentrating, lady's cute concentrating, right? We start to get to a point where the hourglass is closer to the other scroll than to your own, right?
Yep.
So I think I moved the hourglass in a little bit. The other thing I did is I changed this totally kind of a non-intuitive, but actually a pretty clever thing. I changed the frame rate from 30 frames a second to 60.
Okay.
And at first you may be like, what does that have to do with getting more text on the screen, essentially in a smaller space? And
without adding any extra frames, that's just going to make the animation quicker.
Right. Well, but I set the frame rate to 60 frames per second as well. What it does is it's 60 frames per second, and if we give it the 30 frame per second interval, it would actually go twice as long. So I make it 60 frames per second. I change it in the code as well, so it's a 60 frame per second animation. What it gives us is a much finer grain of where we can stop to fit the text.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So in case it's just too big, it doesn't jump 2 spaces ahead. It jumps only 1. And those two changes I made from a UI perspective, and they seem to be working based on the test I've run so far.
Okay.
Okay? That's what I've done. Here's what it looks like. So we'll come in here, we'll say Miles will bring up his haste spell. I'm just hitting buttons. Miles is ready to cast haste. I don't see Miles up on screen. And what do I have to do? Switch to somebody else, and then back to Miles. I've got a bug here on these scrolls that sometimes they get in a state where they won't show. And I have to undo the state bug by switching to somebody else, then coming back to them. I haven't found that yet. I haven't looked for it, to be honest, in a lot, but I am aware it exists. It's hard to reproduce, too. It's totally a state bug. Anyway, I'm going to hit haste on the Stream Deck. And I'm going to hit cast spell and look over at Miles' placard right above his nameplate there and watch what happens when I hit cast spell.
Ooh. Snazzy.
It's not bad. Notice the color change in the sand. Notice the spinning icon, right? But I've dropped down its contrast so that it's got the... Now, we lose it there. It's not actually... The sand isn't falling at the right speed.
Okay.
But everything else is working. Notice that it lasts for up to a minute. If we wait a minute, that'll go away on its own. Or if we just come into the UI and we say, let's add a minute to it, it disappears. Okay. Now, we don't have the disappearing animation. We're not using that yet. My disappearing animation, to remind you, is this guy right here. It's going to blow up from left to right.
Yeah.
Is what it's going to do. And I got the sound effect that will attach to that as well. Okay? That's kind of where we're at. I want to get the sound working. I'm sorry, I want to get the hourglass working first. To get the hourglass working first, we have to calculate the percentage complete. Okay? That, yep. I think we may get tripped up on that. That's what we're going to do right now. So percentage complete. I just realized I want a way to get rid of all of these. I think I'm just going to drag them down here, and then I'll just use this as my way of getting them back and forth. I want to like have a way to mode that says get everything out of here and then come back up, but without changing the other pieces that I have here, right? So I've got the Solution Explorer on the left, just in case, like, you know, we bring up a like one of these right here. It's not hiding anything terribly critical. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we want to go find the concentration spell, concentrate spell, concentrated spell. Where are you? That's what I want. This guy. This is the guy that when this changes, when it changes major state, okay, we get to,
yes. The character's going to raise events regarding those activities back up to the game, which will then transmit the information through to the lower level, and then we get to display it on screen.
Right. That's what's going on. What I want to do is I want to, somewhere up here in the main upper UI window, I've got something that responds to the clock, the game clock advancing, I think. Or am I simply advancing it myself? I've got the advance clock command that we've got it here. Let's just get in here and see what we're doing here. Game clock.advance. Okay, I want to see if there's any other calls to this. Nope, I'm out of there already. I want to see what else is in here. Add a minute, add an hour. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. These are pieces where I move the clock, and what I'm looking for is something that says, hey, the clock changed. Let's go into clock and see, do we have an event in here?
You got clock ticker event arcs.
I do. On time changed, time changed. Sweet. Let's find out who's hooking it. There we go. D&D time clock changed. Okay. Here's what we want to do. Update clock. Now we want to add something here. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Should get a hit now because just immediately. Good. Now what we want to do is we want to say update concentrated spells. That's what I want to do.
That's right, because based on how long you can or have to concentrate for, there is simply the passage of time, and this may result in X percentage alteration, and therefore our graphical switch.
Yeah. By the way, I found a bug yesterday. We are that may hit us again. The bug is that SignalR has got a limit of about 30,000 characters that you can send across, and when I send all the player data across for all 5 of these guys, and we can get pretty close. And if folks are concentrating on a spell, then that spell description goes across as well. That's the text that fills up the whole page, which can add another 1,000.
So this is a limitation per message?
Yes, it is. And so what I did, I made a real quick and easy fix, which I said, look, the piece we're going to serialize, the active spell, we're only going to serialize that if you are the active player, because that text description is only needed if that spell book is on display, and it'll only be on display for the active player. So instead of getting potential multiples of several thousand characters added on for all those long spell descriptions for the other characters if they're not active. So that seems to have solved a problem that previously was killing SignalR. SignalR was like, okay, I'm done now. You send it one bad message and it's like, I'm done. It's what it felt like it was doing.
Although I'll give you a bit more headroom.
In fairness, I did see evidence that it could recover from that as well. So I saw both mixed reactions. So I'm not an expert on it at all. I'm just telling you what I'm remembering. I'm remembering both cases existing where once it was just completely done and wasn't working, and other times it did recover after I saw the problem. So I also saw how we could get evidence of when the problem occurred, but ultimately the fix is going to be send data for one player at a time. Then it'll be 1/5 of its size. Oh, look who's there. Who's that guy? What's that code? Somebody set a breakpoint. Look at that. We're going to publish this. It's so good. It's in gold. That's Coding Gorilla, kid.
Welcome, Coding Gorilla.
You redeemed to highlight my message. I got to let people redeem more stuff. We
got to do
woefully
things.
I'm
These points
woefully
are just lying around doing nothing at the moment.
I'm woefully doing nothing on that. And I could be, and I'm not. All right.
Some people power up their drones or something.
Yeah. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to go through the players. I think it goes like this: game.allPlayers, all creatures. What do we have here? We have something called players here. All players. This is a class, though. That's down in here. What do I do to get, hold on. Let me just tab the next reference on this guy. Probably got to put a semicolon there to be able to do it. Okay. Where are my player IDs? I feel like up here at the main level. Well, I do have allplayers.getActive. What's that doing? We're playing now. Oh, that's the list of all players, the active players. Okay, I'll do that one. Hey, look who's here. Look what worked. Although, wait.
Look who's very quietly here.
Wait, why didn't we hear the other Smoofy back stuff? The back stuff did not play. Hold on. That's weird. I've got close file when inactive. That's the weirdest thing. That's not fair at all. Why isn't it playing? Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Mr. Smoofy back. What's going on? It's my fanfares right here. I'm looking at the, it's not there. What the heck happened to my fanfares? Holy cow.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Let me resume syncing of Dropbox. I turned off Dropbox for a second. What is going on? Yeah, I'm not happy about that at all. View on Dropbox.com. What do we got here? What's my version history? Rewind this folder. I think I'm looking for a file that doesn't exist here. Show deleted files. That didn't do anything.
No extra files appeared. This is going to sound weird, but I had a situation within the last month where a set of files which I happened to have in Dropbox vanished, and I have no evidence that they were ever there, but I spent the whole afternoon making them.
Let's see what rewind this folder does. Get started. Right before a spike is a good place to start. Let's zoom in, continue. As far back as it goes, there's more. Let's try this. Continue. What? Seriously, these were all here yesterday. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Let's grab Mr. Smoofy. We're going to regenerate this right now and put this in here. That's a little disconcerting, kids. You said you had something with Dropbox where that happened?
Yeah, I mean, in my case, it was some just SQL files, sort of useful snippets and stuff. And I swear I put them in my Dropbox folder just to sort of keep them on multiple machines. I went looking for them, and I couldn't find them anywhere. They've just gone.
Wow. All right, so we're going to come in here. We want to get to, it's around this guy. It's up one. It's in fanfares. Mr. Smoofy back. That's what this one is called. Like that. And export that. It's not too long. 20 seconds to solve a problem. That's like flipping weird. Well, I like that it did switch. We got at least one. You know what I think though? I think there are. I think I might have more than just Smoofy missing from fanfares. I don't remember who else I put in here. I don't know if it's only these folks. If I just started recently doing this or not. Looks like that's done. Let's minimize that. Glad I used OneDrive. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, what is going on? That all looks correct now. Let's see if it works now. If we can switch away and come back. Wait, what's going on? Oh, this is here blocking me. There we go. All right. Hold on. We got to get the whole thing. Here we go. Let's pretend we go back, right? And Smoofy's like, said, Mr. Smoofy all of a sudden says, choo choo. And that's in the time zone we're in right now. And then all of a sudden this happens. That's pretty good. I went to Mark Miller School of Acting, kids. I'm a little bit worried. I think I put more than just deep waters out here. But I'm not 100%. I can't recall correctly on that. I make it a habit of pausing Dropbox so that it doesn't chug up and take from things before we do the show every day. And then I restore it afterwards generally. But I don't know. Okay. Let's see if I can recall where we are. We are in the process of writing the, I want to get all the active players. So I'm going to go with this right here. This code looks good right here. So we're going to work our way back. I'm going to do something similar for each player in there. We're going to say, hey, if player dot concentrated spell is not null, then we're going to come down in here. So I'm just going to set a breakpoint here and run and see if we ever get to that point. Time clock changed. Okay, no concentrated spells yet, it looks like. So let's go back. We'll go to Miles. We'll say Miles, cast haste. That lasts, I think, for a minute. Okay, here we go. We got this one. Haste is cast. And this is where we want to like send a signal over to say, you change what its percentage done is. Okay?
Yes.
So I think we want something like this. We want to say, I think there's an all player stats, and there is a dot get player stats, and it needs a player ID. So we're going to say player dot player ID. We are going to declare a new local on that. We are going to say, hey, if that is not a null, and we're going to keep drilling in here. I'll set a breakpoint right here. All right, good. Then here we're going to say player stats dot. Do I want to, this is the spell name. Do I want to double check to make sure these are the same? I think I'm going to trust that they are. So I think what I want to do instead is I want to say percent concentration complete equals let's look at the spell a second. What's in it? Time spell was cast. Sweet. And it's got the spell. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to say get spell duration. I think I want to put this down in D&D utils.
Okay.
It's a great place for it because you can, I think it only needs low-level pieces. It was originally cast around the time the universe was created, says Coding Gorilla. That was apparently true. It did seem like that, didn't it? Let me go look at that again. Time spell was cast. You are correct, sir. We need to update some data. Yeah. Just thinking about being around right around this time. Right around when the universe was built. And just noting the time.
Yeah.
Just being like that. No? Okay, fine.
That's only 2,000 years ago.
Spell
2019.
percent complete. And what data do we need to send? We need to send in the concentrated spells.
We need the fraction of the time that the concentration
Yeah,
needs
not always.
has been out of what it could be.
Not always. So hold on a second.
No?
Time, where was it? Time spell was cast. We need that, and we need to set it. This guy's not being set, it looks like, at all. Well, what's happening here? That's being set there when we create a new instance, but I bet we have a constructor that doesn't use that. I bet we have just a new instance that doesn't do that. Let's see if that's the case. Casted spell. Do I have any new casted spells? Here, let's do this. CodeRush is going to get us, if I hit Shift F12 on this, I think. CodeRush is going to give us all references, and then within that, all of those references, we can say we want to find only new instances.
Mm-hmm.
No, they all are passing that in.
The standard one. Okay.
Okay. So that guess is incorrect. So why is the instance time, is that always set to 0 like that? That's so weird. Oh, hold on. This is the D&D time clock, which is a global. That is different from the game's time clock. Yeah, this is like a singleton instance, which is useful for test cases. But I think that's the problem here. I almost want to say, wait, all of these casted spell instantiations need to pass in a time clock to it. Or alternatively, we need to set it right after calling it. So let's see what's going on here. I'm worried that I just cast spell name. I'm worried about this. Hold on, what's going on? Just cast spell. Where's this coming from? Cast action spell? Player just cast spell. This is past tense. I just cast the spell is what's happening there. I create the casted spell there. What do I do with casted spell? Spell just cast. I pass it into assigned feature. I'm worried that the new casted spell show prepared spell in game. I'm worried that I'm using this instead of holding on to it. I'm creating it when I need a casted spell. But I'm worried that I'm not holding on to one of these, and I really, really feel like I should be. Although the concentrated spell should be that guy. Actually. Hold on, let's jump back. I got a breakpoint here. Let's go to the next statement. I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to run for a second. And let's advance the clock. And now let's cast darkness. And here it comes. And good. Okay, so we are here. I want to see... Okay, so check this out. The concentrated spell is a casted spell.
Right, yes.
And the time the spell was cast is still incorrect. And we never hit the breakpoint for this guy.
Oh. That's a little strange. Are we... No, that wouldn't work.
So how are we assigning it? Where are we getting it from? Let's tab the next reference on this. We can do the same thing here again. Shift F12 and look for assignments. Assignments like that. And what do we got? Hold on. Just drag. There we go. So we got something here. Cast spell requiring concentration. Check concentration. Check concentration. This. Preparation started. Casted spell. Well, we're calling it from there. Anywhere else? Nowhere else. What is going on? This should totally have got... See, we should have seen the breakpoint there. Let's continue. Why aren't we seeing that breakpoint? So we're going to keep getting here until I just run. Let's advance clock by an hour. Let's try one more time. Why aren't we seeing the breakpoint? So let's try haste, cast spell. What's going on? This is haste, right? Yeah. Wait. What is this actually? Haste. It is haste. Okay, good. So we get here, but we never get to the breakpoints for the constructors.
Is this before? So updated concentrated spells is a thing that happens per unit time. It happens regularly, and we're supposed to be going through things that maybe have been set up.
It can't happen before. It shouldn't be able to happen before. I mean, even if it did, we still would be able to hit those other breakpoints. We're not hitting the other breakpoints. Somehow we're getting a casted spell instantiated that we're not seeing here. Well, not here in the other one that we had before, the casted spell piece.
Can we change the concentrated spell into a property and stick a breakpoint inside of it?
Hold on.
As it gets assigned.
Sorry, Roy, I'm not hearing you because I'm about to put in a CodeRush feature request. I want to have browse back and forward buttons here on the references window. I want to go back to a previous search I was just looking at, and I want it to be as simple as just hit the back button. But it's not there, which means it's harder, which means I've got to come like what, up here, and then hit Shift F12 again, and then go in here and say I wanted to see only assignments, rights to it, you know, that sort of thing, or whatever the thing is I'm looking for. So I feel like I want a back and forward button. So I get especially useful for comparing two different pieces, because right now we're talking about that. That's the feature request. Hold on. Get this feature request back and forward buttons on the references window, or tabs. If you want to give me tabs up there too, I don't know. I don't think tabs are that useful because they take up a lot of UI space, but it's also something like where you could say, I want to pin this one and have this up for a while. But I think just forward and backward is, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. Not tabs, just forward and backward. That's the way to go. So let me go take that, put that in the chat room. That's going to send a message to the CodeRush team, because we're dogfooding CodeRush live on this show. That's what we do. Sometimes we find issues we want to fix. This is bizarre to me. Bizarre. I almost am suspecting that it's not hitting the breakpoint. That it's a Visual Studio problem not hitting the breakpoint, and that it's actually not actually getting there, because I'm not seeing how...
We did have an error earlier in Studio talking about how our debugger wasn't great and it was asking to repair something.
Yeah, let's restart. Let's restart. Let's save it. Let's restart. Yeah, that's the D&D app, starting it up now. Yeah, I think we're going to be, bumping around against this problem for a while. This problem of trying to calculate this. I think that already not having that data there is not great. It could be also that this instantiation occurs at the very beginning and this reference is somehow held, but no, we saw code that showed that that was not the case. Okay, we are up and running. I don't think we need to initialize anything. I think we just need to go in and say, let's cast darkness. And now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this time I believe I'm like, okay, yeah, I believe that could be at the start of time, because we haven't actually started that D&D time clock yet. Let's get out of here. I wonder if we're going to hit this breakpoint again, Rory, right, as we keep going. So it's new casted spell, show prepared spell in game. did. Oh, man. Yeah, this is not the same as the one we're going to use. Is it? Where's this reference? Oh, no, it's out here. Prepared spell. All right, let's keep running it. And now we get out here to activate the spell shortcut. This is the one that we're going to use. Because all that's done is it's just prepared something that we could send it to some data we could send across so we could show it. This is the one that I think we're going to use. Is that right or no? No. This one's just a local that's wasted. Okay. What else do we got? Anybody else creating a new one out here? Cast spell now. Casted spell. Prepare spell. Passing. Wait, that's a different one. Holy cow. Oh man, I'm worried about this. I was treating casted spell as a DTO container.
Right.
And now I really need it to be a singular reference to the one thing we cast. And I need to stick around somewhere with something. I think that's my feeling. Okay. So I've got one there. Show player casting. I got one there. It's not good. That's not good. That's a test. That's a test case. What do we get here? Cast a spell. Same problem here, right? Just a low. Whoa. We got a return of it. This one might be the one. This call to cast. What are we doing here? Cast a spell needing completion. We assign it there. Only there though. Come on. Do we have any other calls to get to cast out here? Got this one. Where's this one going? Cast test. Nope. Oh, man. Never before. I don't know. Never before. Not in a long time have I felt burned by an architectural choice that I thought was innocuous. But I'm feeling burned right now. This felt so innocuous to me. Let's do this. I think I'm gonna treat this. Continue to treat this. I'm going to treat, here's what my decision is on this. Hold on. Time spell was cast. We're only using it in these two places. I'm going to kill the app. I'm killing time spell was cast. This is unreliable data, and I don't care. I'm going to keep using casted spell as a DTO wrapper. Okay? This is I think the smartest way out of this, because otherwise it's just a lot of high risk code changes. Right, and I am wary of making those. I'm not going to make those. I was actually flipping a coin. I was like, okay, we can just go ahead and take them out, right, and make those changes, all those places. But it's high risk, right? We've got a lot of
there's
mechanics.
A lot of places.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go back to character. Where's my concentrated spell? Here's where I just want to look at the assignments here. I'm just tabbing the next reference through these. And I guess I might as well, just since we got enough of these, I might as well just shift F12 this. Why is this up here? That's interesting. Because we restarted VS, Visual Studio. I want to look at assignments to this. All right, and we have, this is the only one where we're passing it a non-null. It's only here. So at this point, I bet you this is the casting time right now when this is called. Let's go take a look.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
No, maybe not. Check concentration. It's coming in from a call to check concentration. Check concentration.
We are going to raise an event that says just cast.
Preparation started. So... Yeah, no, it's right here. Preparation started. Hold on. We're going to nail it inside. Wait. Preparation started. Casted spell. Preparation started. Yeah. What's this? Why can't I tap the next reference into there? Oh, there I can. Maybe I had... Hey, how you doing? You look like you want to chat.
Do I want to chat?
You want to hang out?
Guess what I can't
You want to be buddies? Want to be my buddy? Look who's here, kids.
My hair looks always so crazy. Doesn't it look like... I look like a Dr. Seuss character when I do.
Do you? Here, stick your head in. Stick that in your head.
Is Rory here?
Yeah, Rory's here.
Hi, Rory. Lauren.
I'm here. Hey, Karen. How's things?
Thumbs everything. It's a picture of you.
I need someone to do something about that.
Yeah, Karen's here though. Let's pause it. Here to smash the picture.
There we go.
In the house.
Okay, I love you. Sorry, that's way too much sexy for Twitch. And I'm gonna keep that down. I missed the pretty chicken, says Kappa. Or no, not says Kappa. It says I think Kappa was supposed to be an icon, but I've not seen that.
Maybe.
Cover Beardy asks, "How are you doing, Karen?" No response. Okay. So here's what I think.
So we're only allocating the concentrated spell in one location. We're only setting it in that one place.
Yeah. What I think I want to do is I want to. I think I want to. I think I want to do. I think this is This is when I'm starting it. I'm calling it from character here.
Yeah. Pass the spell itself inside, which is
And
good.
I'm calling that from casted spell. So really, I could do this. I could undo. Yeah, all right, fine. Time spell was cast. I could come down in here and let's do this. I think here I was where we want to store the start time of when it is cast. Where's preparation started called from? Up here. So let's do this. Let's kill the app a second. I want to, oh, it's not running. I want to pass in game so we can get the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to also pass in, where's my initiative order? Where's my initiative? Who's got initiative order? D&D game has got it. Okay, cool. The game has got, I think, everything I need. So I'm going to pass the game in. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit the coder's key right here. I'm going to choose add parameter, paste, enter. And that's it. Okay. Now, spellcaster, check concentration. Here we're in casted spell. Here's what we want to do, set the start time. So I want to say game.clock dot, what is it? Time? D&D time? That's a date time. I guess I'm going to set it to a date time.
A date time's okay because you can advance by like 24 hours or a week or whatever, and you know the actual time will change.
All right, let's do that. Let's declare this. Let's give this a better name. One unresolvable conflict from what? I'm not even, where is it? Can I hover? Can I find it? Time spell cast. Why couldn't we, you couldn't get my edit? That's my problem. That's it, the file's not that big. All right, I don't care. I'll just copy it. I don't know why you couldn't get that edit. That was weird. I felt it too. It's like as soon as I did it, I was like, it felt weird. I mean, I saw the message come up and I was like, it didn't feel right to me. What's going on? Why is it like this? Property or index or casting time. Is there really something else called casting time in here? What's wrong? Oh, it's only got a getter. That was my unresolvable conflict.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't have a setter on it, I think, is what was going on. Maybe the declaration was wrong, maybe. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So anyway, there's my casting. So I've got my casting time. Game dot round index. Casting round. is equal to the round index. I think we want to say +1. I don't know. Why am I starting it with a 0 if I'm adding 1 to it everywhere?
Well, you're calling it an index. And
Yeah,
your sort of standardization is to use 0-based things where it's an index.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to create a property called round number. And I'm going to return round index +1. That's going to be a way better way to solve that. Okay, let's do that. Let's declare that as a default body. Throw that out there. And we're going to say return round index +1. And I'm going to type in TI space here, type int space like that, and it's going to give me that. So now I've got round number. Okay, so the casting round is that. And I think I also want to do the turn index, casting turn index. And that, whoops. That's going to be equal to game dot, do I have an initiative index? That's what I want there. Because once we're in battle, and I think I also want to do, hey, it's only if we're like in combat. If game dot, maybe just in combat. There's also something called non-combat initiative where we take turns. But it's really only battle where this stuff really, you're really, every time I've played where we've entered a non-combat initiative, we're taking turns among friends. So we're not casting spells so much, you know, that sort of thing. Hey, Coding Gorilla was out there with the solution. I should look down to the chat room.
So he is.
More frequently. You know, I defer, you know, all my amazement to you, Coding Gorilla. You continue to be, you know, nailing this. All right, so then I'm going to store these two here, and if not in combat, I'm going to set these both to like a -1, I think. That's what I think I'll do. Set that to -1 and -1. Okay, let's go declare those properties, auto-implemented. Oh, look at that. Why? What is going on? I don't even get that. Is that us doing this? Is this CodeRush? This might be CodeRush. Hold on. Let's do this again. Boom. Declare. Yeah, this is us.
Oh.
This is a new update to Visual Studio, and this just started happening, so I think it may be related. All right, let's do an issue report on this. Roy, if you can watch for this email when it comes by, make this high priority, right? Let everybody know. Thanks. All right, so I'm here in the code. I want to declare property auto-implemented. Look at the preview. It's only giving me a getter where I'm clearly setting the value right here. This is the latest update to Visual Studio. I just installed it moments ago. It is, what am I using? There it is right there. 4.804.084. That's what I'm using. And I just started seeing this behavior today. I was using the same thing yesterday. Who or what is CodeRush? Says C Films. CodeRush. CodeRush. That's a product we make over at DevExpress.
Yep.
DevExpress.
That's DevExpress right there. We make developer tools. We make controls.
Awesome.
All kinds of things like that. Anyway, and we are dog fooding it live, and I just found a bug, and so I'm like, let's fix that bug. So I'm in the middle of describing that issue, and I think I just did. I think I fairly described the issue. I just got to write it down here. Declare property adds only setter, like that.
Only getter.
Sorry, I'll change that in the chat room here. Only the getter, right? Thank you so much, Rory. There it is. Good. So we've put that bug in there. Reported that. Let's come back in here again. Declare it again. All of these. Yeah, they're only all getters. Like, what is going on? All right, so we're going to do auto implemented. I'm going to manually add the set. And we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to declare that. And again, I'll manually add the set. All right, cool. So now we've got the casting time, casting round, casting time, cast time, casting time. I think that's what we're going to do. Now, the really cool thing about these two numbers is this is going to be able to help us for spells that have a duration based in rounds, right? And so we'll be able to calculate that if we're smart and we write good code. So Code Rush is not just one person. No, it's actually not.
No.
Well, Code Rush, the Twitch show, is this. One person and plus the voice you hear in the back.
Hello.
Plus this guy over here. That's that guy, but he's not doing anything now because we're
Code
stopped.
Rush is the product that we are dog fooding on this show.
Right.
Made by DevExpress and an awesome crack team of developers. And yeah, basically it sits within Studio when installed and aids us in many, many ways, which is why we're dog fooding it, to find issues exactly like this.
Yeah, so if you work,
so that we can increase the quality of the product for everybody who uses it.
Yeah. And if you work in Visual Studio and you're watching the show and you want a free copy of Code Rush, all you have to do is say it, and we'll get that for you. There you go. Coding Gorilla just did that.
There you go.
I'm like partially inclined to play the Code Rush commercial, but I'm not going to do it. But it's a great commercial. Okay, so now we have this. That is feeling like we are getting close to what we need. Are we back over? Let's jump back to where we were. See if we can get back to that main window file here. Don't think I need that. I'm looking for the method that we wrote. Let's view our breakpoint, see if we still got a breakpoint there. That's what I'm looking for. I just want to make sure we still got a breakpoint there. All right. So Code Rush is a D&D dice roleplay video game. No. Code Rush is a show where we write code in C# and TypeScript using Code Rush, our product. But the focus has been on D&D for a couple of years because we've been, it's a vast, it's a limitless possibilities of things that we can write code for. So, that's what we're doing.
It also helps if we do the dog fooding on, should we say, a fairly mature product with a large code base. So as we've evolved this code base, it's become a very useful test bed for playing with all of the features that we would normally use in other programming projects.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're going to go to Miles. We're going to cast Haste. That's got a duration of 1 minute. Right there, you can see over to right up there, 1 minute up there on the duration piece right there. Here goes the cast. I didn't set any breakpoints. Well, I have this. Let's go to consecrated spell. See, we got a decent casting time. Look at that. We do. Casting round at both -1, meaning we're not in combat. Sweet. Okay, cool. Now we can come in here and let's look at the percent complete here. So I want to pass in, I think I'm going to pass in the concentrated spell and the game. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Get spell percent complete.
Mark, everything on my machine has just frozen, but I can still hear your audio. This is strange. Have you ever come across a situation, everything freezes, and as I move the mouse, I get a beep, 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 beep? Is this some kind of...
No. I may have seen that like a long time ago. I'm just checking my Skype. You might want to restart Skype and reconnect, but Skype looks good.
I cannot actually move anything.
Skype is... That's interesting, so you can still hear me.
Yeah.
So
but I can't invoke Task Manager or anything.
Wait, look to see if a key is stuck in the down position. Like what I'll do sometimes is I'll tap the control keys, the Alt key and the Shift key, just press them and release them, and see if that is of any assistance. Look, sometimes I'll notice, like if I've got a keyboard here, but it's connected to my laptop, I'll notice that I've got a phone on the laptop over some keys. Sometimes that's happening.
Not so much.
Okay, here we go. We're coming in to get spell percent complete. Edits were made. What's my edit problem? Not all code paths return value. Okay, so now let's go into it. What now? Missing method. Yeah, sometimes we get this sometimes. It doesn't like it. I put it down in D&D utils. That's another DLL. imagined I could write DLL faster and more beautifully than that. It's out in a DLL, and sometimes edit and continue in Visual Studio doesn't like that. So we'll kill everything for a second. We'll have that D20 up there for a while. I think all we have to do is rerun it though now. I checked the link to CodeRush. I get it now. Okay, C-Films. I heard Microsoft is stopping support of Skype. Really? I don't know about that.
Wow.
Skype has got new preview features that they're coming out with. All right. Darkness. Cast the spell. Update. We're here. Good. I'm just going to hit run. And now we're going to try and write some code to make this work. So we check to see the duration on this. We have to say if cast a spell. I don't think we got duration here. We have to go into the spell itself. We go to its duration dot time measure equals time measure dot rounds. Okay, cool. If we're here at this point, then we want to do some special stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to say, hey, if time measure is equal to, what is the other one? I think it's seconds is the other one. That they fall into one of those two categories. Actually, it might be actions. What is it actually? Let's see what it is. It's minutes. Yeah, it's a bunch of these possible options here. Let's do this instead. Let's do a switch statement on this. The code will be clearer if we do this. So, instantaneous we don't care about for duration. Actions, I don't think is likely either for duration. I don't think there's any action. We can check that by bringing up the data for the spells.
That would be slightly strange because it would literally mean, 3 people get to do a short thing and then this expires.
Yeah. So I want to look for, search for specific range. That's already got it right there. Good. I want to find duration. No, I'm sorry. I want to find action. Find. No, there are none. There are rounds at some point. One round, one round, one round. But none of these require concentration, so not that big of a deal. Concentration up to 6 rounds, concentration up to 1 round. I didn't know about that. That's true strike. Oh, okay, right. I think I did see that. All right, and then I think we're all the way back. So yeah, so we're looking at rounds, minutes, hours, maybe seconds too as well. I don't know. I suppose I should come back in and do that again. Look, are there seconds in here? Shoot. You okay, baby?
Yeah, we need to anything in your
Oh, baby.
Ah!
She's going for my snacks. All right, let's go for seconds here. No entries matching seconds. Microsoft Teams, later that year.
Replacing Skype for Business. That's slightly different.
Replacing Skype for Business. I'm totally down with that. I don't think they're replacing Skype. Skype and Skype for Business are 2 different products. Okay, so we have a sense of what's coming in here. So we've got no actions. We've got seconds. We've got minutes. We found no seconds, but I'm going to keep it in there anyway. Hours and days. Is there a forever in here?
Well, forever concentration is a lot of concentration.
I'm looking for like unlimited. Unlimited. Let me just look for the word limit in this column. Nope. Forever. I'm going to say no. I thought there was a spell that, well, there's special. That's what I'm thinking about, I think. Hold on. This, I think, is, yeah, it can end on a different number of different situations. So that's a forever. So I'm going to, for forever, I'm going to have a special situation on here. For forever, I'm just going to say return always 50% complete. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
If it is never, then I think I'm always going to return 0, I suppose. If it's actions and, you know, the other pieces, well, hold on a second. I took out actions that were above. We could turn these into 6 seconds and reactions. We could treat these a certain way and calculate, create a result for that. And I feel like that's everybody, right? We've got the round piece up there. And then down here we have like, you know, I guess I can just keep that exception down there. Okay. So we're going to come down inside of here first. We're right here. Time measure. If that's the case, then we can, let me do one other thing. Let's come in here. Let's introduce a local for this. Okay, so we've got duration now. If the spell duration is in any of these, I'm pretty sure we can call get time span on it. Like that. Okay?
Yep.
So that's going to turn it into a real time span. I actually believe that the same will work down here. Get time span.
I think we've got that facility for anything that can be a time span. So it doesn't work with things like forever and never. Well, actually, it looks like it does, but it has a slightly strange meaning in those cases.
No,
but
it doesn't
else,
work with those actions. It doesn't. I thought it would come in here. I thought it would convert them. We might want to add that code. So I was going to come in here. Let me just add the same code here. Get these 3 and put these in. And what this is going to do is this is going to return time span. I'm going to say dot from seconds. And I'm going to pass in, wait, what's 2 seconds do? It's already doing it. It's the code I was going to add is already happening here. Duration actions is 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Duration seconds divided by 10. Is that right? Hold on. This should be duration actions. Wait. Oh, I'm doing something different. Oh, that's super interesting what I'm doing here. Yeah, okay. I did this to make it so that we would have a unique number. I basically said, look, your actions is like we're just going over 1 decimal place. When you go to actions, another decimal place for bonus, another one for reactions. Okay, that's not quite the same. So I think what I'm not going to touch these yet. I'm not going to touch them. That's where I am right now. So we're going to get that time span right up here. What's my edit? Yeah, okay. So back up here. What's my time span? 0? What's my duration? Count is 0. Time span is instant. Time measure is instant. It looks like this line of code didn't get executed. Let's come back up here and do it again. All right. Yep, that's what it was. It was just edit and continue. Okay, good.
Yep.
So now I've got my time span, which, if I'm reading that right, yeah, it's 10 minutes. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to get the original cast time. I think we want another time span, so I'm going to type in VTS, right, like that, and we're going to say time active, and I'm gonna set that equal to my D&D game dot clock dot time. That's the current time minus my casted spell dot casting time. Round is the special case. This is the thing, you know, we're going to have to write this code and test for it, because that's getting a little tricky. There's basically two special cases here, this one and this one down here. This is the time active. So let's come back up here. We're going to do this, and the time active is very, very little. And so now what we can do is we can say return time active dot total seconds divided by my time span total seconds. And that should get it to us. So we need to floor that. We say math.floor, and we need to cast that to an end. Maybe I'm math.round it. I'm going to round it. Okay, so back up here and get rid of the break. And let's get out of here. I think we need no breakpoint there. We do need a breakpoint, like, I don't know, here. Can we set one there? No, can't set it there. Okay. All right, so I thought I cast it, but I'm not seeing any special effects showing that I cast it, so maybe that didn't happen. Let's try it again. Let's go. Did we clear a breakpoint here? We're not hitting it, so it looks like it's done. All right, so let's come in here and go to Miles again. Cast. We'll cast haste. Looks like maybe Signal R is broken because I'm not seeing response over here. That sometimes happens if we stay in debug mode for too long. Just checking for error messages. Huh. Okay, let's close and restart it. And then we need to update. We need to send the signal across once we get this working correctly. Send the signal across from C# down to TypeScript. All right. Now we're up. Let's get ready to cast haste. Cast haste. Here's our breakpoint. 0 is our first answer. Run a little bit longer. Still 0. Let's run it. Let's set a breakpoint. Are we still at 0? All right, let's do a conditional breakpoint. And the condition is going to be this is equal to not 0. And run it. Now we got it. We got to 1. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you're gonna leave me? Oh, that sounds so fun. Karen's leaving me. She's going on a walk on the beach. Should I just bring everybody with me? Wouldn't that be fun? That would take a long time because the desk drags. It's got carpet slider pieces on here. All right, so this looks like this might be working. Let me run it again a little bit. This is, what is haste? It's haste 10 minutes, I don't know. Here comes a jet.
Jetsam.
Jetsam says hello and goodbye, honey.
He's in the house.
Talking to me?
Yeah, Jetsam says hello and goodbye.
Oh, hi, Jetsam.
All right, let's set a breakpoint here. Are we going to hit it or no? He says gone. I was hoping to see this. Some indication that it was growing is what I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
How are we going to send the data over? Let's go look at that too, because it's been a couple days since we've done this. You're the best, honey. I just want you to know that. All right. Sorry, distracted by my wife. I hear that. You're leaving. Okay. Percent concentration complete. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where do we send the player stats out? Update player stats is what I think it's called. Player stats in game. I think that might be all we have to call. But we only want to call it if there's a change. So, you know, I'm debating on, you know, where I put the code. I'm putting it here for now, but I'm thinking about also having a side effect on this so I can change it anywhere and it'll trigger an event, and the event will lead to needing to update the player's stats. Is what I'm thinking. All right, let's just hit F10 so it kind of compiles what we've got. But I don't want to write all that code right now. I'm going to do this instead. Consider adding side effect to property setter. What's in the chat room, Roy? What's going on?
We've got... Okay, somebody's looking to write a web program to scrape a website.
Anyone know how to do that?
HTTP client object. Make a request, pull the request back, parse the result.
Going to be able to interact with it.
Oh, and still enter that same data onto the website. So you actually need to do more than scrape. You need to then interact and post back to wherever that form was going to post back to.
Yeah. So, you know, at the risk of being that guy, there's a product out here that one of the teams at our company works on called Test Cafe, which kind of lets you do what you're describing. So I'm not sure if you want to write something yourself, if you want to own the code for it or not, but if you just need to essentially programmatically grab information from the website, interact with it, that sort of thing, Test Cafe might be something to look at. Might be an interesting piece to look at. Yeah, Mr. Smoothie says, I was thinking HTTP client as well. And Bob's your uncle, says Jetsam. I think that means, yep, do it.
That's a lot of hand wavium between, you know, use this class and finished product.
Right, a little bit of hand waving. Consider adding side effect to property setter to trigger the event. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do instead, though, is I'm going to say, hey, look, if new percent is not equal to percent complete, then I'm going to do two things. I'm going to set them equal, and I'm going to say change occurred is equal to true. I'm going to come up here, type in VB, create a variable type Boolean, paste, and then down here, I'm going to say, hey, if change occurred, then we're going to update the player state in game. Which, is that going to work? I'm just tabbing to all of these. Yeah, sending this over. I think the question I have in my head is, am I okay with just the update command, or do I want to add a special command that means just we're updating the clock only? I feel like I do. Update concentrated spells, spell hourglasses in game. So we're going to make this command be update hourglasses. different word. Hourglass update. Fine. I don't know. I'm not super happy with any of these.
I think you're right, though. It's good to be a separate command. Aside from anything else, this will be called more frequently, and therefore will result in what we would hope ultimately to be smaller messages more frequently, rather than, you know, when we're updating something more significant but less frequently.
Yeah, and I think we can do a shortcut down below if we get that one message in and say, okay, I don't need to do any comparison. Because if I just send the update, when I have to do a lot of comparisons. Mr. Movie says, I think you might run into trouble programmatically reading a website with a form and posting that form. The results to that form, the results, many websites will be configured to prevent automating the population for data like that.
Yeah. A lot of what they do is they take your IP address and they rate limit you in your ability to do any kind of submission. So you might do one or two, but if you're trying to post a lot of stuff, yeah, you're going to fall afoul of that kind of stuff.
All right. Yes. Sorry to interrupt you, Rory. So now we've got this occurring. I'm going to throw like just that breakpoint right there. Let's throw haste up into the equation here. And are we going to get a breakpoint? Haste, I forgot to read it. Let's go bring it up. Gotta get another player, bring Miles back up, bring up haste. What's its time? It's 1 minute. So we changed it occur by now.
Yeah.
Why are we not getting a change occurred here? Do we have any concentrated spell? Do we ever get down to here? We do. Get player stats, we got them. Get spell percent complete. It's 0. That doesn't feel true. If it's a minute and when that clock is advanced, that doesn't feel true. Let's come back into it again. Let's drill into it and find out what's happening here. The time span is 1 minute. Time active. D&D clock time. The casting time is 11:21. Wait, the clock time is... It says it's 27 seconds.
It's 27 seconds since, so we should be halfway through. We should be just less than 50%.
Yeah, so then I'm good with. 27 divided by 60 should be about 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. 100 times that. That's why it took so long to get to the 1 before. That's my problem. 100 times that. You agree?
Yeah, I think so.
That's my problem? Yeah. There we go. Now we got a 45. Sweet. Now we got a change occurred. Better.
Because almost everything would round down to 0 at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Or 1. One of the two. Okay. So
to,
now
yeah.
It feels like we don't have the round calculation over in D&D tools yet. We don't, D&D utils, we don't have this special case covered yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to work on that. So that's what we're going to do at some point. But before we do that, now I want to go down. Let's clear that D20 out of the way. I can clear that out by just throwing some dice out. So let's throw out a D10 using psychic damage. And clear that. Wait, like Rory Becker Code Rush, wait, what are we talking about? Special case?
I'm not sure.
Special case?
Oh, wow. We have Rory. So many spellings. The first one.
That's so funny.
Which is pretty good, actually, given the variations you've got there.
I heard you reacting to that, and then I saw it come in after you finished talking. So my latency on the stream chat is like about 3 or 4 seconds compared to yours.
Wow.
Okay, so now let's go down below and see if we can figure this out below. This is the code that builds all the UI for the pieces that show up. let's look at the hourglass sand. That's in the concentration hourglass sand. We want to come in here and we want to say segment size. I say that's going to be 3. Segments, let's go over to Sprite Proxy so you can kind of see what's going on here. Segments look like this. So these are my frames. I start at like 0 and I have several images. And then at some point I've got a start offset. And then I have these segments. And the size of these segments are the same. And then it just divides those in and it'll run these in a loop. Like that. Until you move to another segment. And it'll run that loop. That's what we want to do. So with the with this guy right here, the hourglass, we're going to find loops as we're making the progress from here to here. That's what we're going to do. And then we'll play the exit animation. So my start offset looks to be 29, I think. So I want to set that down here. So I'm going to say start offset. No. What is it? It's not start offset. I thought it was. Let's see what I find over here. Nothing. Let's bring up CodeRush. What do I got under offset? Probably a lot of things. Nothing that says start offset. In Spellbook, in sprites.
We definitely use this in the flowers as well.
Oh, but it's just here's a local constant. Return frame index. That's not what I want. Hold on a second. Let's go. It's just called something else. No, I want advanced frames down Sprite Proxy because I know that when I tab the next reference here, nope, not there. Sprite Proxy. I want to go find advanced frames. It's funny. I know how to find it, but I don't know what it is. So advanced frames and sprites. I thought I had advanced frame and Sprite Proxy. That's what I want right there. Okay. Advanced frame, tab to next reference, we get to here. And actually, I am using start offset. I'm using return frame index. That doesn't feel right to me is what I called it. Because I think return frame index is each piece as we go into the segment. Let's go find my segment size here. And let's see what's going on with segment size. Yeah, look, I am using return frame index. Okay. That's what it's called. All right, so let's go back over here. Return frame index. We said it was 29. Okay, segment size of 3. And what is, I want to see what these other guys that are using this are doing. They're calling it loop. Although the purple portals are sequential stop.
Isn't the drone a good example of this? Because it has multiple segments that are necessary for sort of moving left, moving right, and hovering in place.
Yeah, it is. You want to go see if we can find that in drone?
Because I was thinking my earlier idea of the flowers, actually the flowers probably only have a single segment. They start and then loop. But it's a single loop. It's a loop back rather than switching segments, which I think is what the drones do.
Excuse me. Drones is a sprite collection. Add to drone, segment size. Here, there's no return frame index specified, which is kind of bizarre a little bit. I guess because they don't have one. They just start with the segments, and they are the loop. They are doing loop. I'm just trying to figure out if I want loop or not. Let's work our way back. Yeah, I think I want a loop. That's what I think I want. And so we've set those values. Next, we need to figure out where we're updating. Hold on. I'm a little annoyed here. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm annoyed, and I'm going to put another code rush issue in here. Kids, I've asked for this before. This has not shown up yet. I want you to highly prioritize this. I want the file I'm in to be a higher level of contrast if there's an entry from it. So notice I'm in Player Stat Manager. If the word Player Stat Manager shows up in here as the file name that contains it, I want it to be highlighted for me so I can very quickly see, oh, I see where it's coming from. I'm talking about this code over here off to the side. So I can very quickly see, because otherwise I have the problem of having to tap Control, hitting 4, then tapping Control again just to see if I've got it where just in this file. The update method, right? Or whatever's called update in this file, right? But if instead we could highlight it, in some way, I guess highlight over here if it's in this file, or highlight here if I'm in that class, that would be incredibly useful. Okay, let me just write what we need to write for that feature request. Highlight active file in the nav menu, the nav view, the jump to UI. Okay, let's put that in the chat room. C-Films is wondering if you were a professional golfer.
I have never played golf in my life.
Good job, Rory. Appreciate you.
It's an incredible way to ruin a good walk, as I believe somebody famously once said.
That's funny. I appreciate your commitment to the anti-golf movement. It's our secret society that we belong to.
Generally, I just don't have that much time to kill.
Okay. I want to go find update again here. Update. I'm just going to do a search like this. What's this called from? This is a different update. Maybe the best way to find this is to go in through connection. There. Find the update command. Update in-game creatures. Is that it? No, that's not it. Change player stats. That might be it. Handle command. Handle command for existing players. Handle command for player. There. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to say update, or what did we call it? Got to go over to here. Hourglass update. Like that. All right, Hourglass update. Update Hourglasses. Update Hourglass, like that. I love that this is going to be just a single method, because there's some complexity here. I'm anticipating what we're going to have to write. So here's my player stats. And percent concentration complete is what I want to use on it. I also want to use player stats dot player ID to go find the hourglass. So I need like a this dot get hourglass. I got to get sprite per player. Now where I pass in the hourglass, so I can see this dot hourglass. What do I have here? Sand. Sand was one of the words that was in it. There it is. Dot sprites. No, this is really not a good time. Could you wait just a little bit? Just not good. Oh, well, it's pudding. Okay, we'll take it.
Pudding, you know the hourglass has got sand in, not pudding. It's not a pudding glass.
Golfers get paid millions of dollars a week year to walk. Rory's like, not many of them get that though. Yeah. Okay, get sprites for player. Player ID. We're going to use player stats. Player ID. What's wrong here? Okay, I think maybe we just need that. Right there. Okay, good. We're going to say... What's happening in here? It's get sprite for player. Okay, it's going to give me one. So I want to type in L, maybe QSP for constant. And we're going to call this the hourglass. We're going to say, hey, if hourglass, then we're going to say hourglass.frameIndex is equal to, I think we need constants for this threshold and this threshold. Okay, so
Well, it's kind of 29 times, sorry, plus 3 times percent. Is that about right?
I think you got to subtract to get the difference. You know, divide by 100 and then multiply by the percent concentration complete and then add the 29 again at the end. That's what I think we're going to do. Min sand frame is there. Max sand frame is equal to 333. So we can come in and do delta, and we'll say delta or frames between. I think I can do this in one equation, but I want to kind of break it down. So we're going to say it's equal to max sand frame minus min from sand frame. Then we need to say another one, maybe frame offset is going to be equal. So this is offset from the min sand frame. So basically we're going to come down here. I'll finish this. It's going to be min sand frame plus frame offset. So frame offset is equal to frames between divided by 100 times percent complete. I think that's correct. That feels right to me. Right?
Okay.
The I'm going to take my max sand frame. I'm going to subtract 3 from it. Because we said the segment size was 3, I want to make sure that I don't give it an index that goes outside of that range. Is what I want to make sure I do. So then we set the frame index. That may be all we need to do. That may be all we need to do. Let's see what happens. I think we won't get rid of it, but let's see what happens. So this is on my Dragon front overlay. So we'll refresh that. Initialize only. Good. Let's cast a spell. Miles has got haste. Looks like we lost. Do we? No, wait. No, we didn't lose the signal arm. Let's try again. Haze. Okay. Lasts a minute. Let's cast a spell. It was there for a minute and then it just is gone.
Yeah. It's almost like we've scaled up the speed at which we've gone through it.
That's not happy to me at all. Let's do some console logs. As soon as we got the update Hourglass, we had a problem. That's what I saw. Okay, let's open it up over here so we can see the results of this. Initialize one more time. Let's cast haste. Oh, I like this. Not a number.
Okay.
Percent complete is unlikely to have a value. That's my guess on it. This is good. Yeah, percent concentration complete. Do we get a different name for this thing? Let's see what's going on over here. Nope, it's the exact same name. It's an int. What am I missing? What's interesting though, hold on though, I'm actually got a console log here that says percent concentration complete. Oh, it's undefined. There it is right there.
Okay, well that'll do that.
And there's frame index, not a number. So yeah, so we are setting those, that is what's happening. So why is it undefined? Is there another place where this would be passed over? Hold on, I think it's a latest player stats versus player stats problem. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, latest player stats. So what we can do is we can do this. Since we don't really care about whether there's a delta or not, we can just do this.
Yeah.
And I think what I want to do is just to make this really obvious is change it to say existing here. Do it here. Do it in update player. What else? Wait. Let's go out here. And that's good. Do it in update player. Do it in these two. Just so I have a convention here that really clearly spells it out. I've got a lot of these. I'm using them all over the place. Could not do this without rename.
It's very useful, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm hitting F2 to rename. There we go. What else? I can almost scroll down and see them. They're all next to each other. It looks like maybe not. Okay. And then this one. This is just an individual player ID. Okay, no big deal there. Okay, I think we're in better shape. Did I do this one? Sorry, did I do that one? Nope, that one did not do. Okay, so I think we've enhanced the code a little bit. Let's, we'll stay over here. So there's a refresh, initialize, and let's hit Haste. Cast the spell. Oh, it looks better. But hold on.
Slightly different location.
The location's okay.
Sorry, no, it's because the overlay from the live stream and the browser.
It's jumping out, though. It's getting... Oh, look at it. It's not rounding down. Look at the frame indexes coming in here. The frame indexes are like 144, 145. See what's happening here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's fix that. Where was I? There it is. Update Hourglass. Here. I'm going to say math dot round of that guy. Right there. That could be a big, important deal. All right, let's try one more time. Refresh. Initialize. Cast haste. All right, let's watch it. Oh, it looks better. I think it's working. Because this is not a minute-long animation.
No. But in, say, 10 to 15 seconds, you'll still expect a certain accumulation as we move to segments that are more full.
Yeah. That's what we're expecting to see.
Is that growing?
I think it is. I think it is actually growing. I think this might be working.
Staring at it and wondering. It's very subtle, which is good.
Yeah. It looks like it's working. It's growing. Yeah, I didn't note the time, but all right, this looks like it might actually be working. Now, the end is the thing we wanted to do. We wanted to play all the way out at the end. And that is the thing we kind of got to figure out. Yeah, it's definitely working.
That's definitely working, yeah.
As intended. Okay, so it fades out right now. It's not bad, but it doesn't all the sand drop out, which is kind of what I was hoping for.
But it does work to the degree, you know, it is, it's not finished, but it's definitely well on its way.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is I want to say, hey, look, if percent complete is 100, I think I want to do this. If percent complete is equal to 100, then I want to change the hourglass. I want to set the frame index equal to 333. I want to set, I think at that point I want to say segment size. Oh, it's in the sprites itself, isn't it? Isn't there a play through to end? Play to end on expire equals true.
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to work. I wanted to destroy all in exactly.
Well done, Jetsam. Absolutely.
Please explain
That
this thing
is
you call subtle. This channel does not do subtle. Yeah, you're right.
Just poking Jetsam in the direction of the party, mainly because I do have to go.
All right.
And I thought, do you know what? That's a great indicator of same. But we are Wednesday, and therefore there is Thursday. So I will see you tomorrow at the same time.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much. I appreciate your
All right,
help.
bud. See you then.
All right, bye. All right, we're getting close. Destroy all in exactly. Lifetime milliseconds. I don't know why it says destroy all there. Got to destroy by. Well, there's a math round right there. There's a little bit of destroy by. Yeah, it throws a random in there. Got your back, Roy. Says Jetsam. Thanks so much. Destroy all inexactly. That's what I want to call. So I want to say destroy all inexactly. And I think I just want to say now. I think there's a chance that might work. And if we start to fade it out when it gets to 100, let's see where else we're looking at the 100 on this thing. I feel like there must be at least one more place. No. So we must be sending it, we're sending the kill message from in C# up above. So I'm just going to do this and see if we see the sand go all the way out. That's what I want to do. Okay, let's refresh on the stream. I'll close this. Cast haste. So 5109 is when we started that. We gotta wait a minute. There's no real way I can add a few seconds that I'm aware of. I can enter combat and add rounds, I suppose. But we're kind of working our way through it. I do like it. It does give a sense. It definitely gives a sense. There's something, remaining in it. Is it going to play all the way through? It did. As it faded out. Perfect. This code works. That's awesome. I'm going to get rid of our console logs. That was not as hard as I was thinking we were going to encounter. That's not bad at all. Next, let's do the animation. Yeah, it did work, Coding Gorilla. Thank you so much. Let's do the code that blows up. The e311 is now following. Thanks for the follow, e311. Glad to have you with us. Let's write the code that does that explosion across the base of it. So we're going to bring this animation up right here. We'll have a sound effect that is associated with it. It's going to wipe across, kind of go from like here. You can see that's what it looks like right there. It's kind of wipe across explosion across the spell. Okay? So let's do that. We need to build that. That's going to happen. We got to destroy all here. We're simultaneously sending the message. We're actually getting a little bit advanced notice on this, I believe, because of the rounding. So when we're like at 99.5%, it comes back as 100%. So this code, I think, is going to execute first. And we don't really have to trigger the destruction from here. I think we're going to trigger it instead from here. The spell is the same, no. This one right here. Destroy active spell. Here's where we want to trigger that animation from. Okay. So let's bring in those sprites, load those in. I'm going to call that the concentration explosion. Like that. Tap the next reference on the icon. Duplicate that. And what is that file called? Called fire hide scroll. How many frames? 99. What is its origin? I want its origin to be this explosion piece right here where it starts off. So wherever that is, I want that to be its origin. Which looks to be 191, 280. And this is a sequential animation. That's going to run all the way through to the end. So there's my concentration explosion right there. Cool. We want to say add. We need to give it an X and a Y. Starting from index, which will be 0. Since it plays all the way through the end, the built-in garbage collection, whatever you want to call it, that we've got is going to just find that and remove it automatically. Although I do need to call draw on this thing in the right spots here. What's going on with the concentration icon? Where we... Oh, when we call load concentration sprites, we probably add it to a sprite collection. There it is right there. And then we just call up-to-date positions automatically. So all the cleanup's going to be taken care of automatically in the drawing wheel as well. Wait, actually maybe not. Let's double check that. Nope, it's not. We have a specific drawing, and the reason for that is yesterday I think we decided that we needed to put the names in between the layers. That's what we're doing there. So whatever's last is on top, so I want to put the explosions last and draw those. Okay. All right, I think that's what I need there. Now we just need to figure out the X and the Y position here. I think what we need to do is we need to call this dot get sprite for player. We need to pass in, let's do the Hourglass sand sprites. And the player ID. So this is going to get us the actual sprite for the Hourglass. Which means we can use its X and Y, which will be its center position as well, and use that for the center position for this explosion. Okay, that might work. Let's refresh. Let's cast haste again. And for the purposes of testing, let's add a minute. Nice. It looked too high to me though. Why did it look high? Let's try that again. Paste, cast the spell, add a minute. Yeah, it's way too high. It's looking at the upper left. All right, oops, I don't want to breakpoint here. Maybe I need to add the origin X and origin Y to this. Maybe that's my problem. I thought those were already accommodated, but it feels like they are not. Okay, let's try that. Refresh. Refresh the data. Cast haste. Add a minute. There it is. Nice. It's beautiful. Okay, let's add some sound to that thing. I got my sound manager passed in. Sweet. Look at that. I was already thinking I added that code yesterday. Sound manager.play, safe play MP3 is what I want. And the MP3 I want to play is in sound effects. I'm not remembering. You know, I hate it when they do this for sound effects. It's like, I don't need any of this. I feel like I'm always doing this. Please stop. I'd love them to just stop. And then, oops, I don't want bitrate. No, no, no. I want date modified. All right. Not here. Spells. Is that where I put it? Yeah, there it is. I got these three different pieces. So we want to say spells, gunpowder flare. Let's just see if that works. All right, so we'll refresh. See how that looks. Refresh there. Cast haste. Whoops, I did sleet storm. Haste again. There comes haste. Add a minute. I'm good with that. That's good enough for me. That's awesome. Here comes darkness. Darkness is darkness is up to 10 minutes. So that baby is going to just look like that for a while. Let's add some minutes to it. Let's add 5 minutes up here. So here we go. 1. And each time I add a minute, you can see it there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at it go down. Oh, I love this. I really, really love this. So that means even if we were to enter combat now, so we enter combat, right? That thing is not going to change because the clock has stopped. All right, let's start pushing it. Let's go to me, my character, my spells. Enlarge, reduce. Concentration, up to a minute. Let's cast it. I love it. I love it. So that one's 10 minutes. This one is 1 minute. Gosh, even with the lock, destination array was not long enough. Check distint and length and the array's lower boundaries. What? Hold on, kids. Where's my button to just look this up? I want to look this exception up. Right there immediately. Is this a Code Rush feature? That's what I'm thinking about. Let's do it. All right, kids. I want to add a button to Visual Studio's UI here that allows me to look it up. Look at this. I got view details, copy details, start live share session, open exception settings, edit conditions. I don't have a button that says just look it up. Sometimes this happens to me where like this thing is like, I don't know what this is, right? Also, I'm expecting a right click to copy it. Nothing there. I know this is their UI, and you're all going to be like, oh, Mark, please don't make us modify their UI because it's so brittle they could change it and break us. But it's a suggestion. Destin array not long enough. Yeah, I'd like to be able to just get to here in a single button without having to select it, copy it, paste it, search. I want to get right into Stack Overflow and get out to here. The object bike's not being stored safe. There's a modify the bikes object that is not being locked. Yeah, that's what I believe is happening. Find orange bytes up, make sure they are thread safe handled with the lock. Yeah, I don't think it's, I think I'm locking it. Where else is queued entries in? I got a clear here. That could be it, actually. And another clear here. And queue entries. You know what? Let's lock them all. I bet that's my problem. Let's do that. That, I bet, is going to solve this problem. It wasn't just that I needed a lock there. I needed it everywhere else. Do the same thing here. Same thing there. And I think that's it. Okay, I think that's going to maybe save it. Let's go back up in here. You don't like that? No errors. It's not letting me change locations. All right, let's stop and restart. I wonder how that walk on the beach is going for Karen right now. So interesting, we had to stop the app because of that other bug. Right in the middle of testing this. When we start up, it's going to send new data across, which is probably going to remove all these. Oh no, it didn't look like it would remove them. It did not, but I still suspect they're going to go away when we do an update to concentrated spells, which can happen if I say, all right, let me cast enlarge reduce again one more time. So there you go, there's the update. Let's cast the spell. That looks good. It's got a minute before that thing goes to 0. Let's also go to Miles if we can in time. Let's cast Darkness for Miles. That's 10 minutes if I'm recalling correctly. And now let's enter combat. Hold on, I'm just waiting a little bit for enlarge reduce. This is looking pretty cool, kids. Okay, there we go. We're getting close to that one being done. Now I'm in enter combat. Okay, let's see if the time clock advances when we go to next turn, because I'm not sure if it's doing that or not. Fred should be first. Miles is next. Merkin. Fred, Miles, Merkin, Lady, and Little. Like that. So if I hit next turn, do we go to Fred? We do. Round 1. Okay. Time is 7:26. All right. Wild magic check in there. I wonder if that's for my enlarge reduce. I think that might have been it. Okay. The wild magic goes off. Then we got to do a wild magic roll. Oh, we got another wild magic check that interrupted the wild magic roll. That's not good. We need to check that. Let's do the wild magic roll again. Again, come on. What is happening? Why do we keep getting wild magic rolls? Do we keep getting them? What change have we made that would inspire this? And here they come, they keep coming. Good news is we got a breakpoint somewhere up in here. Wait, did it stop on its own? What was that? We went into combat. There were 5 rolls. I think it's the bug. I think that's what happened. Is it's not able to. remove it from the queue so it keeps going. I don't think that's it. That's what I thought it was at first, Smoofy. But I think what happened, yeah, each roll is one more wild magic die. Definitely that's happening. That's happening intentionally because each time we roll it, we subsequently add it. But I think what happened is we went into combat, those rolls stopped, and it said, hey, let's do a wild magic roll for each one. I think the way to reproduce is I cast the spell, before the wild magic roll comes out, I enter combat. And I think that sequence will be reproduced. At any rate, the good news is both darkness and my large reduce hourglasses, those are both pretty much where they are. Time on the clock is 26 seconds after 7. Let me just hit next turn and work my way through so we get back to, I think, Fred again. There we go. We just went to round 2. Look what happened. This, I'm 6 seconds and added 6 seconds, that dropped down. Let's do it again. And now one more, I think. No, one more now. No, one more now. There it is. And the round 3 is gone. I love that. Yeah, I think the problem with the wild magic is that. That's what I think it is. Well, I'll have to take a look at that. So there's darkness. We can now exit battle. Exit combat. And let's add a minute to the clock. Add another minute. Another minute. Why isn't darkness going down though? This is not good news. Oh no, it is. How many have I added? Feels like 7, 8. Oh yeah, I did kind of cast it right at the beginning. I guess we're okay. And then one more minute. There you go. You can see it's almost done. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. This is a little fluttery. And we can fix that by just rolling back that max value. I just think we're too close to the edge. That's what I think. It's kind of fluttering up there. There it is. Uh-oh. So we didn't get the expire from up above. So why didn't we get the warning from up above? That is a bit of a concern. Does that mean we still think that Miles is casting that? No, he would show up right here in this list if he thought he was still casting it. Let's do it again. Cast darkness. Cast spell. And there you can see, well, you can't quite see here. Let's switch back to this view. There. So we're concentrating on darkness, and you can see just counting that down. So why didn't it get the end of that? You can see the countdown here working. Oops, you can't quite see that. Hold on, right there. So 3 minutes, 25 seconds. It's 2 minutes, 1 minute. Now got 15 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why isn't that sent? What's happening? The hourglass isn't found. Here's what's happening. The hourglass is not found because it's a longer duration. The drop, the fade out happens sooner. Okay. And so what happens, the hourglass isn't found, so we don't put the explosion up because we can't find it. I think we got to call the other expire from here. That's what I think we have to do, and maybe do it as a timeout. Do it after a moment. So I'm playing with this idea. This dot destroy active spell. Passing in the sound manager. And the player ID. Which is, where are you, player ID? Are you anywhere in the code here? I don't think so. It's probably, though, in here. There. But I want to do this in a minute, is what I want to do, in a little bit. What do I have at the end here? I have 334 to 347. So is that 13 frames? So I want to say set timeout. The handler. Can I do like a lambda here? Or no, it's just going to be this. These are my args. The timeout comes next, which is going to be, what do we say, 13 times FPS 30. So that's the interval between those two. That's how long I want it to go in milliseconds. And the arguments here and here. And I think I want to do a call to bind to this, just in case we have any of this references inside of destroy active spell. Do we? We do. So we'll need that this bound in there. Okay, set timeout. I think that's better. Let's try refresh on that. And initialize the data. And let's get do darkness again. Cast the spell. Let's add some time to it. 8, 7, 6, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 0 minutes, and only 40 seconds are remaining. So this is where we were before. And what we're hoping is that we'll see the explosion go across and tear it up. And it'll be gone, and no other problems. Because we're actually going to get a call to explode this twice, I think. What do we have? 20 seconds, 19 seconds remaining. I don't like that little jitteriness that I see in there. Okay. That feels like maybe that worked. Let's grab something else like haste. Haste has only got a minute. Let's cast that. Let's do something for me too. Let's see if we can reproduce that crazy thing we saw earlier. I'm gonna do, I have two here that are concentration. What are they? Oh, spider climb. Spider climb is interesting because that's up to an hour. I suppose I could throw that out too. Let's cast that spell. And yeah, so this thing is going, it's a 1 wild magic check. That's a normal. I think Miles' spell just expired. Mine's still going. This is an hour. So our time now is 12:43. Let's add 10 minutes to it and see what happens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That works. That works, and I like the sound effects. It's not bad. The piece we don't have are the counting the rounds, but I need to have that spell and do that. I think I'm going to do that next. I wanted to run a couple of these up and just look at the UI, get them all up at once here. So I'm going to take enlarge, reduce. I think I'll enter combat first. Okay, so clock is stopped. Let's cast enlarge, reduce. Okay, that's up there. That one makes sense because I just casted enlarge, reduce, so that one is good. Let's go to Miles next. Let's cast. Thaumaturgy require concentration? No. This is not Sleet Storm does. Let's do Sleet Storm. Up to 1 minute as well. We'll cast that. So now we got Sleet Storm going over there. Let's go to Little Cutie. Little Cutie's got, what does she have? Pass Without Trace, up to 1 hour. So we'll cast that. So from a UI standpoint, I just want to make sure that they're readable, that it's clear that this hourglass is with that, and you can kind of tell because of how close it is, the proximity there. And even the longer ones like Pass Without Trace are fitting within the scrolls, right? The scrolls open up to fit the word that we're doing there. Lady has got a spell as well. She's got two of them there. I think she's got Shield of Faith. Up to 10 minutes. Let's cast that for her. Yeah, and Fred doesn't have anything at all. Because, you know, Fred's like this brute force kind of guy. Let's add the time. I'm not remembering what all of these pieces are, but let's just add a minute here. Let's exit combat, actually. Is this supposed to be a countdown of the concentration or the spell duration? It's both. It's a countdown. This is how much time is left while you're concentrating on the spell before you're no longer concentrating on the spell. The usefulness of this in D&D is that sometimes I want to cast another spell that requires concentration, right? But as a player, I may not realize I'm already concentrating on an existing spell. So that's kind of what's going on. Oh, there's flicker over here in the bottom. I don't like that. That's really odd because I'm not seeing it anywhere else. I wonder if that's just because it's the very beginning of this. I can again fix that as well by moving these in. Hold on a second. Let's move these in. Min sand frame and max sand frame. Let's bump this up. Let's say this is 35. And let's say this one is 320. Take them back. And if that's the case, let me do this. dot segment size, like that. I want to do that a little bit. That'll bring them in a bit. And I think that'll get rid of that initial flicker. See, the flicker's gone there now. It's just at the very beginning, the very end. And we've seen these kind of tear up. The other thing that's cool about this is when they do go away, we hear the sound effects. So the player can be like, oh, okay. So let's add 10 minutes. There we go. We lost that one. That was 10 minutes. This one I think is the hour one, pass without trace. It works. All right, that works for me. Let's figure out the round problem. Actually, wait. Before we do that, let's see the change I just made. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go to Little Cutie. We're going to cast Pass Without Trace. That was like a 1 hour spell. Cast the spell. In the very beginning, we're looking to see if we see the flicker or not. It's a little wobbly. It's a little wobbly. Let's crank it up even more. Let's go 10 more frames forward. And one more time. Pass without trace. Cast the spell. Oh, this isn't going to work. I got to add time here. Let's add an hour. Now let's do pass without trace. Cast the spell. All right. It's still wobbly. Oh, because return frame index. My bad. Min san frame and return in frame index have got to be the same. Let's take these. Let's take this one out. Yeah, that 35 I had before might have worked if we had also made this change right here. That. Okay, let's try that. Let's refresh. Refresh here and add a long rest. Pass without trace. Cast it. We got that special spell effect that's coming in there. How are we doing? I think that's way better. That is way better. We can also come in here, find pass without trace, go into cast. We can get rid of this spell effect, like that, and come back in and fire it again one more time. Let's add an hour. Sweet. I love that. Fire the event. Uh-oh. That's not right. I think I have to... move to get it. What's going on? Code. Pass without trace. The only spell effect is there, right? Add spellcast sound. I'm confused. Where is that effect coming from, if not this smoke wave? It's as if... Well, there's also something interesting. Normally I see UI up here. Oh, is it because I let me see. Do I need to do this? Here's the saving I was looking forward to seeing right there. We did not see that before. Okay, now let's see if that's going to fix our problem. Oh, no, add an hour. Pass without trace, cast a spell. It's still doing that. I don't want to hunt this bug right now. I'm just going to make a note about the bug. It's weird. Let's see. I want to see what other, if we have other issues here. Let's cast Moonbeam, a little cutie. Same smoke waves. We saw them there at the beginning of this. Let's add a long rest. Cast no Moonbeam one more time. Interesting. Now I'm trying to cast it and nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? There we go. So this worked. This just totally worked. We got rid of those smoke waves. I don't want to rest. Put them back. There they are. Smoke waves are back. So why does that work and this other one does not? Pass without trace. Hmm. "23 seconds remaining on Moonbeam." Let's actually watch that right out. Eight seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Expired twice. That was a little weird too. Let's cast Pass Without Trace. See something else interesting in the chat room. I'm getting multiple messages about the dice roll coming out. I don't want to get too distracted, so I'm just going to put a note here so I can come back here and take a look at it. Why am I getting so many of those? That actually looked like this worked this time. The fire event doesn't work on Pass Without Trace. Feels like Pass Without Trace needs to be selected from here. But then we didn't see the smoke that time. Come on, guys. Why isn't the smoke wave being saved? trying to get my head wrapped around what's the problem here. Got along that. There's the smoke. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to that. Did I make a note of that? Or am I remembering? Yeah. Yeah, I did make a note. All right. All right, next I want to look at the counting, get the math right for the counting of spells that have rounds in them, that are there, whose duration is specified by rounds. So let's go look at the spells again. And look at my duration. Let's do this. Data, sort range, sort by duration, go. We'll look for concentration. Here we go. Rounds. We had up to 1 round in here is what we had. There it is. 1 spell. True Strike. Miles has got this. Okay, cool. Miles has got True Strike. All right, so I want to go to D&D Utils. I got my breakpoint here for round. Hopefully we'll get that breakpoint when we cast True Strike. So let's see if we get that. Miles spells, True Strike, cast. Breakpoint, we hit it. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so now the spell duration is measured in rounds. So the total rounds is equal to spell.count. I think. Yeah. That should be 1. It's a 1. Okay, cool. So we have that. We have our D&D game, which is going to tell us our round index, our round number, and our initiative index. The spell should tell us the casting round was -1. Casting turn index was -1. Because it was not cast during battle. So I think what I want to do is I want to say, hey, if the casted spell dot casting round is less than 0, then I want to say my then I want to say my spell duration is equal to time span dot from seconds 6 times duration dot count. So in the event we're not in combat, then we're just going to go to 6 seconds. Because that's what a round is worth in D&D. So time span dot 6 seconds dot actually it should be the times total count, duration count should be in here. Okay, there's my spell duration. Time active is I think the same as this right here. I'm just going to copy this line of code and put it down here. It doesn't like these two in the same. All right, let's do this. Let's put this here, declare them both up here. Do that. There's that. feel like I'm duplicating code here. I want to refactor this, I think. Can I extract that as a method? Why did you give me an out for time active? Because I was referencing it down there? No. 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 Okay. So I think we have that, and then we have this down here as well. So spelled this same code here. So those two pieces work there. So now if we come back up here, we're out. So I'm just looking for hitting down here. So let's try that again. Here comes True Strike. Non-combat should last only 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, good. Let's do True Strike in combat now. Consider combat. All right, True Strike. Actually, let's not do True Strike yet. We want to go through combat in normal order. So let's do this. Go through Miles, Little Cutie, Fred. I'm hitting the button here, nothing's happening. Hit it again here, that worked. Miles, Little Cutie. I'm not seeing the round advance come up. Oh, it is. There's round 2 right there. Okay, so we're at 221. Let's set, wait, let me write another issue down here. Round advance. Seems we can disrupt round advancing by activating the player out of sequence before pressing next turn button. See if we can find that one later. Okay, Miles. Cast True Strike. 21 seconds on the clock. Cast the spell. Should get the breakpoint. I feel like we should get the breakpoint. We're not getting this breakpoint. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, can I use your phone to come on?
Yeah. She's on the beach, I thought. But you know she's often not with the phone. Hold on. There you go. Okay. We're not getting either of these two places. Time active is declared but never used. Remind me again, why aren't we Update concentrated spells. Every time the D&D clock changes. Oh, nothing's going to happen. Okay, we need to call this whenever initiative order changes, because we're progressing through time even though we haven't updated the clock yet. That's what we need to do. So we need to find out, we need an event when the game's initiative changes, which I don't think we have. Let's see if we can find D&D game out here. On active player changed. We need to call it from here, it looks like. All right, so let's change the active player. Here's the breakpoint. Let's call it. Now let's see if we get our second breakpoint, if we call that. Okay, there, but what I'm really hoping for is down here. Good. Okay, now's the second math calculation. This is where I think it's going to get a little tricky. So we cast the spell in round 3. Okay, so we need like an else block right here. What's my D&D game round? Round number is 3. Okay, so round since cast is there. Then we need something else. Turns since cast. This one's tricky. I think it's something like initiative index minus casting spell, cast spell dot casting turn index. And then what do we do if this is a negative number? Because right now I think it's going to be positive, but I want to say, because in other words, we've now gone past the end, we're coming back around. As soon as we come around, we're going to have a negative number, and we subtract where we are in the D&D game minus this one. But then that negative number I'm not quite visualizing it here. Let's do this. Let's see if we can figure this out. We're going censored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm imagining 5, 1, 2. We've got 10 people in the round. We subtracted 2, we've got 3, a negative 3. But it's really been 5 plus 2, which is 7. So it's the total number in the round minus this. So then we're going to say turns to cast plus equals D&D game dot all players in round, known player, known creatures. It's not known creatures, I think. All done? Oh no. Do we have the car here? Is the car here? And okay. Hold on a second, kids. Okay. Let me see what she says. Okay, she's on her way home. Okay. Just getting some news from Karen. Oh no, she lost her phone in the sand, among other things. All right, so we're gonna take care of her. I'm gonna end the show as soon as she gets home. Gia, can you kind of keep an eye on that? Are you gonna be hanging in this area? When she comes home, just let me know. I need to know the total number of creatures out here. Where is it? Initiative IDs. That's local. Do I have any exposure of that? I don't. So I need a read-only property of type integer called player count. I think. I'm not sure about the name on this thing, but we're going to say return initiative IDs.count. All right. So then D&D utils, it's going to be that equal to the plus player count. Turn since cast. So ultimately we get rounds and turns is what we get from these two. And I think we can work with those two. Let's see. So nobody there. We've got one turn since cast. That's good. Okay. The duration, we need to go back to duration. What's in duration here? And I don't need this anymore. Duration is in rounds. So we're looking for the duration.count. Okay, there it is right down there. All right, so my percent complete is equal to like 100 times. I think I want to turn everything into turns. Is what I want to do. Then I want to say turns plus equals round since cast times player count. Like that. Then I've got a total turns. And my duration count is in, hold on, yeah, duration turns equals duration, because remember we're counting rounds here, duration.count times D&D player count. And I'm like kind of aware I'm going to be dividing by the same value in both. Is that really true? Oh no, because this is a plus equals on that, so we're good. So we're getting to total turn since cast there. Mitch's Workshop is raiding with Party 7. Thanks for the raid, Mitch's Workshop. How was your stream? What'd you guys work on? You got a workshop. It sounds fun. I hope you're building something. Let me know. That's me. I went to the Mark Miller School of Dancing. No worries. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. Who's drunk? Somebody drunk over there? Who's drunk? Spoofy's dance. Damn, he is cool. That's right. WK Fenrir. Let's get you. Let's get those words in front of my wife. She does not think I'm cool. I got drunk and did some code exercise on CodeWorks. Okay. Oh, Mitch's Workshop is I'm drunk. Okay, I am drunk. All right, got it. Well, welcome, everybody. I appreciate your ability to walk in a straight line from Mitch's Workshop over to ours. Pass your breathalyzer test, everybody. Fred says hi. That's Fred over there. Well, I don't know. He's not going to say hi now, but he'll say hi as soon as we get out of this break point. We're in the middle of doing some Dungeons & Dragons visual effects. We're visualizing a couple things right now. We're visualizing a stopped clock over there because we're in combat. We're visualizing concentration spells here and here. giving a sense of how much time is remaining on that concentration spell. We're visualizing the turn. Little cutie's got her turn right now, as indicated by that. We've got also some visualizations up there. The coins around the edges are just for this stream, but everything else, the D&D stuff here, is for a different stream. That if you're into D&D, go out and follow us out here. It's twitch.tv/dragonhumpers. And we do funny D&D is what we do. We do that. We're doing actually the show tonight. So is this 5 Eastern? Yeah. Well, it is 9 p.m. Eastern is what it is. And that is my cue. I'm going to end the show. Unfortunately, you guys just got here, I know. But I got to go take care of some family issues, so I'm going to go do that. And let's get that done. Let's start up that raid. We're going to just keep sending you on. But do give us a follow. Hey, come in and check us out again. We do these visualizations in C# and TypeScript. And let's send you on. We'll send you CLW right now, kids. Apologies for the quick 1-2 send you off. But I got some family issues I got to deal with. I'm going to go deal with those now. Take care of my family. And yeah, we're also dog fooding Code Rush and Dev Express, right?
Code Rush!
And
Dev Express!
All right, see you kids. Say hi to CLW.